Let's go to Heather in Chicago. Hey, Heather, what's going on?
Hi, Dr. John. How are you?
I'm so good. How about you?
I'm good.
Outstanding. How can I help?
I just was wondering how I can be fun again without alcohol.
Oh, my goodness. What a question. Dig into that for me. How can I be fun again without alcohol?
Yes. So, I am trying to learn. I've not completely stopped drinking alcohol, but I don't drink as much as I used to. And
What happened that made you stop?
I just didn't like how I was. I didn't drink too much, I don't think, but even I started drinking more. Like I'd have a glass of wine while I was making dinner, and then it turned into 2, and then it turned into 3, and I wasn't sleeping well, and I'm trying to just better myself.
Awesome.
And I'd also go out in social situations and just have way too much to drink. And I feel like it made me fun. And now I feel like when I go out, I'll have a drink or 2 when I go out with friends, but I don't feel like I'm fun anymore.
So what
Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. What made you fun? What did alcohol give you? And talking to the phone here directly, this is really important. I don't want anyone to miss this. What made you fun?
I guess just being more outgoing, and I don't know, just able to open up more, I guess, with people and just be more outgoing, I guess. I don't know.
And so now you go out and you realize, I don't even like these people. Or you go out and realize, I'd rather be at home by myself watching Netflix, or I'd rather be home doing other things than this.
Yeah, mostly with my family, yeah.
I'd rather be with my family than with you idiots. How old are you?
I am 38.
38, man. So we can go down a rabbit hole on this one. And I could do a whole show on this. I could do 2 shows on this. And there's a couple of great books out on this right now that literally this weekend, I just ran across one.
Okay.
In a nutshell, oh man, geez Louise, this is such a big thread once you start untangling it. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
You weren't fun. You weren't having fun.
Right.
What alcohol allows you to do is to numb everything out. And it allowed you to be in a situation that you didn't want to be in, doing things that you didn't want to do. And it allowed you to get past that voice in your head saying, why don't you just go home? This is stupid. Because you didn't like the loud. You didn't like the hooking up, you didn't like the jokes, you didn't like the whatever we were talking about. Whatever it is alcohol you thought was making it more fun for you, it took that away. And then at home, my guess is you found yourself being with your family, but there's something about it that is stressful, is exhausting, is high expectations, you don't think you're achieving, whatever. And then all of a sudden you find yourself present with your family physically, but absolutely not present emotionally and spiritually and psychologically. Is that fair?
Yes.
So what about being at home? What about being with your friends isn't enough? What is it about being with your family, being with your friends that you feel like you've got to put a pillow over those feelings?
Gosh, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
What I will tell you is the research is telling us, here's what we're seeing, right? So men for eternity have run everything, right? And we know this. They have the most money, they've got the most space, whatever. They also drink a lot, right? This is a global phenomenon all over Earth. And they lead the planet in strokes, heart attacks, cancers, etc. And what they're calling it is diseases of despair. They've worked and achieved themselves to death. Now, I work a lot. I love what I do. I like achievement. I like competition. What I've had to spend the last decade doing is divorcing my identity from those things, right? Those are things that I do, not things that I am, right?
Okay.
And so when I step back and look at alcohol has allowed people in power to keep going, as does cocaine, as does any number of distraction addictions, anger, rage, a new girlfriend, a new wife, a new car, a new whatever, right? It allows you just to keep going and keep going and keep going because the signals in our bodies that say, are we enjoying this? Is this actually where we want to be? You can shut those signals off, right? That's what alcohol does. And what we've seen over the last 25 years is, oh man, we're seeing en masse women becoming like these glass ceilings are shattering and women are working hard and they're there and they're crushing it and they're doing so good and they're being told, hey, by the way, you have to be the CEO and be a present mom and be at home and do all these things and make sure this is done and this is done and this is done. And so the game got bait and switched on you, and they got bait and switched on male partners too. Everyone's in the middle of a big bait and switch. And what we're seeing on an almost vertical trend line is women are starting to catch up with heart issues and cancer issues. Their bodies are starting to wear this too. And then you see the alcohol relationship, and it's almost a vertical trend line. And now you can't go to Target without the shirts that say, like, you know, my wine, my sippy cup is a wine glass, or whatever, you know, those little cute sayings and all that stuff, right? It's become super normed. And instead of being heartbroken, we're all cheering about it. And here's what's happening. Women, this is not a controversial statement, by and large, women are smarter than men, and they are more connected, more grounded than men are. This is just a generalized statement. You can put mean things in the YouTube comments, whatever. And I think sooner they are recognizing, whoa, this is not what I signed up for. Like you mentioned, I don't like myself at home. I don't feel good. I don't sleep good. I'm out when I'm out at the bar, and these people are idiots. I don't have fun, right? So the question you have to ask yourself is, how do you build a life? How do you build a life that you don't need to numb from? That you don't need to run from? What does that look like? Can you articulate that for me? What conversations are you not having at home that you need to numb out from? What conversations do you have to have with yourself about, hey, these used to be my friends. They're just not anymore. We're just different now.
Yeah.
Like, what are those conversations that you need to have with you and with your husband, with the people in your life?
Well, I know at home I feel like really overwhelmed and like I'm pretty much just the only adult doing the things around the house and taking care of the kids and all of that.
So is your husband just abandoning you on this? Have y'all talked about it?
No. I haven't really just sat down and talked to him about it.
Okay.
But he's present. He's stuck with work. And so when he comes home, it's just there's not a whole lot of help. But I don't know.
Do you work too?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Nope.
So you are trapped in a guilt cycle that says he's out working, so I should be doing all of this stuff. And his job is this and my job is that. And your job is weighing on you heavy. And you don't feel like you're good enough at it. And so like a good man, you're drinking the end of the day away because your job's hard and you don't want to ask for help. Yep. Congratulations.
You pretty much 100% hit it on the head with, I don't feel like I'm good enough.
Yeah, you are. You are. Okay.
But then how do you, in a social situation, everyone else is like drinking. I don't want to. It's not, I'm good at stopping, but then I feel like I'm just
Here's the hardest thing in the world about stopping drinking. I think, this is just me, is you've got to change social circles.
Yeah.
And when you stop drinking, people around you either A, want to keep going, and you ruin that for them. That's what they tell themselves. Or they feel indicted by your behavior change. They know they'd like to quit too, and they can't. They know they want to make some life changes, and they can't. And so I think, this is just me, I don't have any data to back this up or anything. I think the hardest thing about making any major life change like this, same with if you want to change your diet, you want to lose a bunch of weight and start eating healthier, those folks that you always went out with all the time, you quit going. Or you're that guy at the Chinese food place that brings your lunch. You don't want to be her, right? So you just don't go. Or you show up and you're eating carrots, and then people are going to make fun of you because they are indicted about what they're eating. Same with alcohol. The hardest part here is you have to step back and say, are these people still my friends? And if you cannot have a connected conversation with somebody without a drink, they are not your friend.
Okay.
And I hate to say that like that.
Yeah.
What your husband deserves is you being honest about where you are in your heart, in your head. Because here's the thing, he feels it. And whatever way he's numbing too. And I don't know how. That's another phone call. My guess is you know how.
Yeah.
Or you have your suspicions how, but he's numbing too because he misses you also. And so what we have a generation of women trying to do the world, trying to interact. Let me say it that way. We have a generation of women trying to interact with the world on its own power structure that's killing everybody. And we have a group of men who are saying, I don't want this anymore, but I don't have any models, any pictures. I don't have any way to get from here to there. I don't even know what there is. And that's when, whether it's y'all have a great relationship, or you need to go talk to a marriage counselor together to help somebody have this conversation with you. And by the way, me and my wife have this conversation on a regular basis. So perfection doesn't mean you arrive. Perfection means you practice this. Right? It's kind of like a workout. I can't just work out once and call it good. I'm in shape for the rest of my life. I got to keep going, right? So this whole thing is constantly evolving. And how old are your kids?
12, 7, and 10.
Okay, so your whole world is just a blender, right? And when one of them turns 15 and one of them right, this is just going to keep happening. Things are going to keep shifting. And then you're going to have two in middle school and one in high school, and then one going to college and one in middle. All this is going to keep shifting, which means you and your husband have to come up with not a solution forever, but a way that we create new solutions along the way. You're going to have to create new train tracks for your train to go on.
Okay.
But you're going to have to look in the mirror and say, I'm good.
That's hard.
I know it is. The whole world's telling you you're not enough. That you should be at work, you should be doing this, your house should look like that, your boys should never say these things, and they should be, all of it. There's an entire world telling you that you're not enough. And for whatever it's worth, there's an entire world telling him he's not enough either. And so it's two people who committed to ride or die together forever, looking at each other going, you know what, you're good and I'm good. We can do better than this, and we can do it together. What do you need? How can I honor you in this, right? How do I turn the offs and the ons? And you telling him, I've got to build a life here that I don't need to numb out from. And I'm drinking too much. I'm drinking, period. I don't feel good. I don't like it. I don't like who I am after drink 3. I don't like my kids. If I asked my kids to draw a picture of me, it would have me with a wine glass. I don't like any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. You want to get back to being quote unquote fun? Turn music up in your house and dance till you can't dance. Make your boys have dance-offs with you.
Yeah.
Plan romantic getaways or fun, intimate time with your husband. Y'all decide. And if it's awkward, lean into the awkward and invite him along with that. I don't know who you used to be before your world became something that you had to hide from. That's the adventure that you and your husband can go on together. What did that look like? And you're going to find things that you have so deeply buried that you're going to need to probably spend some time with a professional counselor to unbury those things, to dig them up. That's fair. That's part of it. But don't oh my gosh. I started tracking my sleep, and I've almost entirely limited alcohol of everything, even tiny social circles. It messes my sleep up. It's a poison. It's just bad for you, okay? There's a lot of good books out right now on this stuff. We're seeing a gentle turn away from alcohol. At the same time, we're seeing alcohol consumption among women at just a rocket ship pace, and all sort of addiction numbers are all through the roof after years of COVID and all that stuff. Don't build a life you don't have to hide from. I'll just leave it at that. I keep saying this over and over, and maybe we'll do a whole show on alcohol. It's a whole thing, man. You're better than this. You're better than this. You're better than this. If you are listening to this and you think, whoa, I'm down a road that I don't want to be down, get with somebody immediately, somebody you trust, and begin asking those hard questions. Thank you so much for that call.